Now, there is there is an artifact in your museum, and I know some things, well, like the saw,
yes.
they look quite horrifying.
Yes.
Tell us about, there is a model, and Joseph Town had something to do with this model.
Right. Joseph Town was a wax model maker in the 1800s, and he was born in England, I believe. So this is not a real baby's arm, let me emphasize this. We don't have anatomical specimens in jars, really, at the museum, so this is wax, and it's showing a vaccination vesicle of the 10th day, and I think it would have been smallpox at this time. But this is actually made of wax, and the reason for that, of course, it was really before plastics were widely used, and wax could be used to make very lifelike representations of the body. So the art of making wax moulages, as they were called, is actually quite old. It's thousands of years old in some cultures.
Oh.
And for that reason, you could actually make it look very lifelike. And this was before, of course, you could really preserve anatomical specimens.
Wow.
And there were, of course, moral questions regarding dissections.
Yes,
so,
right. And you said that we were seeing smallpox. Is that right?
I think
on that
was
baby's arm.
no, it's smallpox vaccination.
The vaccination
scar. I think it was smallpox, but I'm not absolutely sure.
Well, it looked very realistic to me.
Yes.
And what about now shoes in your museum? I've heard you have shoes.
Well, shoes. We're called the Museum of Healthcare rather than the Museum of Medicine, just because we don't just look at technology, but we look at the social histories and the people behind healthcare. So this case here is showing one of our KGH nursing graduates. And there on the right are her shoes. I don't know if you can see the detail, but they're these high-heeled, pointy things. And the nursing students would have been doing 12-hour shifts in these boots 6.5 days a week. So you can imagine they didn't really like them very much. So when they graduated and the footwear changed,
right.
One of the traditions was that they would fling them into the St. Lawrence River.
Oh, that's
so
great. This was an annual tradition,
yes,
was it?
That's right. So this is actually quite a rare artifact.
Oh,
this
isn't
one
that
student
great?
kept her boots. So.
And this was a graduate of Kingston General.
This is Lillian Lord, and she graduated in 1919.
Oh, great. Well, now I noticed that you have all kinds of very interesting objects here on the table you've brought in.
I do, so I guess we're going to play a little game.
Are we? Okay.
I'm going to try and guess what they are.
I have to guess what they are. Oh, all right, all right.
So maybe I'll let you have the gloves.
Okay. Now these gloves are necessary, right?
Yes, they're white cotton gloves. They're sort of museum. And just because, especially with metal things, of course, you've got oils in your fingertips.
All right. Okay, should I, any order? Should I just pick one?
Pick that one. That one's probably the grossest one, actually.
Uh-oh. Oh, that was a big hint. Grossest one. All right. Does this curve have any special clue, maybe? Okay, but since you said gross, I'm going to assume this goes into an orifice.
Yes, it
does. Maybe somewhere in the nether region?
Sure, yes.
Yes?
Yes,
is there a distinction between gender for this or not?
Yes.
There is.
That's
right. Wow, there is. Okay, male?
No.
Oh, female.
Yeah. It's actually upside down. There you go.
Oh, and they're all laughing in the control room. I could actually hear them right through the wall. It goes this way, all right? So does this go in the vagina?
Yes, it does.
Yes, all right. Oh, there we go.
That's pretty close. Would you like me to tell you what it was used for? It's for to treat a prolapsed uterus, which is a uterus that's protruding through the vaginal opening. So it's all clean, don't worry. And you're wearing gloves. So that would just keep things in their proper place, basically. So, yeah.
Okay, was there a name for this?
That's a pessary.
A pessary?
A pessary.
Okay, all right. We'll move that aside.
Great.
Here we go.
You did very well.
Oh, my good. Okay, gee, this is interesting. This kind of looks like my homemade pasta maker, but
Actually, you're not too far off.
What?
Well, it's not pasta, but it's to make something.
It's to make something?
Yep.
Well, you see, this, I would think, this screw goes into a table edge or...
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
And then, well, my goodness, this I'm not quite sure what...
I think it's actually missing a piece, so there would be...
All right, to make something. Is it to make some kind of a medicine, a potion, something like that? No?
No.
No? Okay,
no. Oh, it's a bandage winder. So this was in the area where people would wind their own bandages.
Oh, like this?
Like that.
Oh.
And so probably nurses would have done this, and this was actually used at the Brockville Psychiatric Hospital.
Oh,
so that's where you can plant it
All right.
pretty
Now,
much
you said this one was dangerous, so I have to be careful how I hold it.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's
What's
correct.
so dangerous about this?
Well, I can tell you from the bottom there's about 12 rounded blades that shoot out if you depress that lever there.
This?
Yeah, so don't depress the lever.
Oh, don't press it. Okay, all right. But these lines here?
Yeah, blades shoot out.
Blades shoot out.
Yes.
This would be a super duper callus remover. No. Huh, blades. It's a surgical instrument then.
So, yes, you're close. Yes, I guess you could say it's surgical, yeah.
What do you do with it?
Well, this is a scarificator, if you can believe that horrible name.
What? A
Scarificator.
Scarificator.
And they were made between about 1790 to 1900, and they were for the practice of bloodletting. So bloodletting was a very common practice, began before the century BC, and basically you would drain blood away because doctors thought that it would restore the humors in your body.
Oh.
This particular one is actually a little later than 1900. It's 1912, and was actually used to help give, again, smallpox vaccinations in China.
Wow.
So,
well, we're almost out of time, so we can do one more. This looks kind of interesting.
All right.
Now, this could easily be a bottle opener.
Yes, it could.
It could be,
right.
really, with that, but it wouldn't be. I think that's a blade, isn't it?
That's a blade.
Well, this looks like it could it take off skin?
It could, but it wasn't for skin.
No.
It could take something else off.
Something else off. Oh, some kind of growth.
No.
No. Okay. Something in your mouth?
Yes. Right area. Yeah.
Okay. It's not a tonsil
Yes,
remover.
it's a tonsil remover. It's called a tonsil guillotine, actually. But
a tonsil guillotine.
This is actually relatively humane, but because before this was invented, doctors would tie a wire around your tonsils until they fell off, basically. So it could take up to 12 hours. So
this is actually a wire?
Yeah, and let them strangle. So this was quite humane.
I'm glad you didn't say they tied it to a doorknob.
Oh, no. Absolutely not.
Well, this is really fascinating information. Thank you so much for coming in today, Mary.
You're welcome.
And all the best with the museum.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Mary Dunn, she's the curator of the Museum of Healthcare in Kingston. And for more information, you can phone the museum. They're at 613-548-2419 or visit their website at www.museumofhealthcare.ca.